Russia's attack on Kryvyi Rih reportedly results in the death of a senior general serving under Putin. A pro-Russian military blogger has claimed that a Russian general commanding troops in southern Ukraine was killed in a missile strike. Several villages in southern Donetsk have been liberated by the Ukrainian counteroffensive, and Venkor Kotenok, one of the most prominent Russian bloggers, has reported that a senior Russian officer was killed there. The blogger, who has 423,000 subscribers on Telegram, claimed that Chief of Staff of the 35th Combined Arms Army, Major General Sergei Goryachev, was killed, as a result of an enemy missile attack. The central Ukrainian city of Kryvyi Rih was the target of a massive attack by Russia the previous night, with at least 6 people killed and 25 others injured. 6 people have lost their lives so far. Alexander Vilkel, mayor of the city, reported via the messaging app Telegram that the rescue operation was ongoing. According to Ukraine's top military command, their air forces shot down at least 10 of Russia's 14 cruise missiles and one of Russia's 4 Iranian-made drones. A pro-Russian military blogger has claimed that a Russian general commanding troops in southern Ukraine was killed in a missile strike. Several villages in southern Donetsk have been liberated by the Ukrainian counteroffensive, and Venkor Kotenok, one of the most prominent Russian bloggers, has reported that a senior Russian officer was killed there. The blogger, who has 423,000 subscribers on Telegram, claimed that Chief of Staff of the 35th Combined Arms Army, Major General Sergei Goryachev, was killed, as a result of an enemy missile attack. How Putin-supportive Italy's policy toward Ukraine changed after Berlusconi's final stance. Former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi often boasted that he had re-established Italy's status on the international stage by safeguarding national interests and bolstering support from Western allies. He thought so highly of his knowledge of international affairs that he appointed himself foreign minister in addition to prime minister and actively sought out personal relationships with world leaders. Supporting Vladimir Putin and laying the blame for the Ukrainian conflict on Volodymyr Zelensky, Berlusconi's last major attempt to shape Italy's foreign policy, would have resulted in the country's isolation from both NATO and the European Union. According to Kim Sengupta, editor of International Affairs, Giorgia Meloni's criticism of her predecessor has helped bring Italy closer to Europe. On Tuesday, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said that his country should have no qualms about using Russian tactical nuclear weapons if necessary and that their deployment in Belarus would serve as a deterrent against any potential aggressor. The Belta news agency reported on his remarks. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Friday that once specialized storage facilities are ready on July 7 to 8, Russia will begin deploying tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. When it comes to artillery munitions, NATO is trying to get everyone on the same page. This week, NATO defense ministers are meeting with the heads of major arms manufacturers to discuss increasing production and standardizing artillery shells in light of the depletion of stocks caused by the conflict in Ukraine. In February, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg expressed concern that Ukraine was consuming shells at a rate that far outpaced Western countries' ability to produce them. If the Ukrainians begin an offensive, that will only increase demand. However, a lack of standardized practices among producers has slowed the delivery of weapons. A NATO official told Reuters ahead of the Thursday and Friday meeting in Brussels that it is about supercharging the NATO standardization process to enable smoother supplies, which will help prevent delays and shortfalls in the future. According to a defense industry insider, the invited companies include BAE Systems, General Dynamics, the KNDS holding representing Leopard 2 producer KMW, and the French companies Nexter, Kongsberg, Leonardo, Lockheed, MBDA, Mesco, Nammo, and Northrop Grumman. Since last year, NATO has been in discussion with representatives from industry about increasing defense production. However, this is the first time the alliance has held such a high-level gathering. It's scheduled for Thursday and Friday in Brussels, alongside a meeting of NATO defense ministers. Ways to increase production of artillery shells, air defenses, and precision-guided deep strike ammunition, including long-range missiles like the British Storm Shadow, will be discussed on Thursday. On Tuesday, the Russian Defense Ministry released footage purportedly showing Leopard tanks made in Germany and Bradley fighting vehicles made in the United States being captured by Russian forces from Ukrainian troops. The Defense Ministry claimed the footage was shot on the Zaporizhzhia front in southern Ukraine, one of the regions where Ukrainian forces have been attempting a counterattack. Reuters was unable to independently verify the location and timing of the footage. The video, posted on the ministry's official channel on the Telegram messaging app, appeared to show 2 damaged American-made Bradley fighting vehicles and 2 German-made Leopard tanks. The ministry referred to the captured military hardware as our trophies in a brief statement and claimed that the video showed members of its Vostok East military group inspecting the items. Some of the vehicles' engines were still running, the report said, proving that their Ukrainian drivers had escaped quickly. Reuters is unable to confirm such claims from the front lines. Starting its long-awaited counteroffensive last week, Ukraine said on Monday that its troops had recaptured a string of villages from Russian forces along an approximately 100 km, 60-mile front in the southeast. Russian military bloggers' unverified claims of retaking lost territory in recent days warrant further investigation.